Okay, I'm going to carry on with this video here. It's going to show up as two. So, yeah, like creating a toolbox for your health, right? Which is breathing for me, yoga, sleep meditation, a nice long walk or run. I love to listen to my favorite song, gratitude journals, a journal reading, audiobooks, and to be honest, like Netflix, I like to watch really inspiring and fun things. And I the thing is, like, I pay attention. So here are some things. So I meet myself where I am. This is one thing that is really easy to be a negative Nelly, like, oh, I'm not in a good mood, or like, just meet yourself where you are. Hold compassion for yourself. Um, and remind yourself that this is a moment in time. It is not your whole life. So parse out, like, what is like real, or what is like, don't think of the whole day as being ruined if one thing happens. And I've learned this. Like, if something happens that puts a blip in the day, in my past, I would have been like, this is it. I'm not supposed to do anything else. I'm going to go get ice cream. I'm going to go drink. I'm going to shop. I'm going to go meet a friend. I'm just going to be done with this day. No, it's just like, okay, yeah, it's going to be shitty for a moment. And then you have to move on. You have to really learn to let that moment go. Um, and of course, this is just sort of like a big overlay. But for me, an example is that, like, I lost my car in like a moment, it felt like. And I remember thinking, like, I can really hang on to this, or I can just let it go. And I did. And when I do that, I don't do it all the time. Um, I don't do it all the time. But I know when one thing is pretty big, like when my sofa couldn't make it up the stairs. And, you know, for me, though, like anything that's tied to like finances, it's, I, it stresses me out. I mean, I have to take care of myself. Most people do, don't get me wrong. Um, but I live in an area where people get, family money. And um, I consider everything that I buy with the thought that, like, I still need to send some money home to my family, or I need to like consider these other things because I need to like take care of myself. So, but if I can just also let it go, because that is always an excuse, that is something always heavy on my mind. And sometimes it can be very limited thinking, but it's also very like, you have to take care of yourself. You can't just overspend. You can't just like, you have to find the grain of salt, or take everything with a grain of salt, not find everything with a grain of salt. But yeah, you just find everything with a grain of salt. Also, pause and see what's going on and value or evaluate whether it's a real thing. Um, Let me see. Yeah, like when something, like, here, like, people say that I say things that probably upset people, and sometimes I'm not even thinking about what I'm saying. And I wouldn't want anybody to like hold what I say with a ton of weight. We're all just having different emotions. And so I try to just think about, well, especially in COVID, there's so much email and texting that we lose the tone or the context of the message. And we can think about something as being like this huge thing, or we can just like let it be something that is like not that real. Like, that's just what somebody said, and it's just what somebody said. Um, and then evaluating what you need in that moment, using like the list of the breathing, the yoga, meditation, like a little bit of Netflix, not too much, um, a long walk, forest bathing. Um, you know, I don't want to say too much about like booking a vacation, because that is also something that is, not accessible to a lot of people, but also you don't need to go on vacation. Maybe just take time off and go for a really long walk. Give yourself the space and boundaries you need in your everyday life, so you don't feel like you need that crazy amount of time off to go, go off and drink or spend money or whatever that you feel like you need. Choose bonding. Think about the people in your life that, for an example, I'm about to go to Chicago, and that just sort of happened. A friend, I was just mentioning that I was normally going to see them in Los Angeles, and I was thinking about going to LA for the fall for my birthday. And I was texting, and I said, hey, it's like so sad I'm not going to see you in LA. Like, it's so weird. Normally I see you. And they were like, why don't you come and see us in Chicago? And I was like, you know what? Yeah. They wanted me to come that weekend, which was like 4 weeks ago. But I was like, dude, I still have to like plan it out. But like, I was like, shit, yeah, I'm going to come and hang out with you. Even for my birthday in Utah, I have friends out there, and going. Anyways, all to say is that like I personally book trips for myself, and I love it. Let me tell you, I have a great time. I always meet so many fun people, and instead this year, in light of this past year, I've just been like, choose bonding. I go to North Carolina. I'll be going next month. And I'm just like, choose relationships. Let yourself be uncomfortable. I like a lot of space. I like a certain amount of temperature in my room. And, I like to have my own agenda. And then when you don't need all of that. You don't. I'm looking forward to also seeing my family, hopefully at the beginning of the new year. Choose bonding. And I think that's it. There are a few shows that I want to mention. There's the movie Inside Out is such a great show, great movie. It's a Disney Pixar movie on like what's going on in your mind, and they have all these different like characters and all these different states that they're trying to hold together. There's like joy and sadness and happy, and there's just like it's just like what we're balancing in our mind every day, and then all these different states that we're sort of pulling the levers on. Learning to really see what you need, and again, like I deal with depression pretty regularly, and I really don't say that in any way lightly. I notice when my apartment's a mess, it happens in such a quick moment. I'm too busy. I got groceries. Sometimes I don't have time to make the food with the groceries. And all of a sudden the kitchen is a mess, and all of a sudden I have laundry, and I'm just busy with work. I'm in the moment. I'm feeling like I'm putting out fires. This is like, I have to pause and just go, okay, you know what? Like, what's going on right now? What's important? How can I really show up for myself? And so, maybe you have to cancel a couple of things, move things around, perhaps take rest, take a time out for yourself, create boundaries, know what you need, really listen to what you need. One thing that's helpful for me, and I'm not the greatest with it, is to have a schedule, to try to stay with it, and allow yourself to depend on other people. I was talking about my car, and I let people lend me their car. I mean, graciously love it, these really nice cars. And it felt really nice to just accept help. And I really love that. This is a really long 2-part video. I may not share it, or I don't know. I might have to make one that's a little more energetic. Yeah. Don't forget to volunteer. Give money to people who need it. Talk to people. Talk to the homeless people, guys. The other day I did. This guy was like, you get some really nice comments from people. You really do. Build relationships with people. That's going to take care of saving other people is going to save yourself.